And away they go. Sarah moving now to the other side to put the weight down to keep the unit on the ground, going around Wiscombe. And keeping a little bit of weight on that side because obviously they've got to accelerate up over Bunny's Leap. And she's shift to the other side to go through the gate. And once you get through the gate, it's pretty much a case of going from side to side a little bit on the sidecar, just to keep the traction where you want it and the unit very steady on the ground. So going through the S's now, coming into saw bench, and Sarah moves right over behind the driver, puts the weight on the top of the rear wheel to give them the traction to go up Castle Straight and up to Martini, and quite a wide lean that she has to do there to get round Martini and over the finish, and they've scored a time of 52.73. And making their way down the hill to the start line. As the way off the line goes Simon Wilson. Neatly round Wiz corner. Little two-stroke engine there, buzzing away. Coming through the S's now. Anybody watching this at home or on the live stream, it's quite a sensation to watch the bikes through there. As and Isaac carries on up over the hill on his Velocette. I'm not sure what year the bike is, but I'm going to say I would imagine it's 1930s. I'm sure if Peter's around later he will advise me on that one. As off the line goes Jamie Mitchell. Jamie is one of the more competitive riders. Got number 6 on his bike, which shows that he was amongst the top ones at the end of last year's championships. Again, worth watching. Just as he goes through, just popping his foot down just to stabilise the bike a little bit as he goes. Leaning it from side to side, into saw bench, around saw bench, and then powering it all the way up Castle Straight. Richard Boker's behind him. And then Steve Atkins on the Greaves won't be far behind. So Simon Wilson putting a time of 49.66. Anthony Isaacs putting a time of 61.86. I'm just waiting for Jamie Mitchell's time to come up. 43.02, that's a very good time. As Richard Boker reads the top of the hill with a time of 47.31. And just watching the top of the hill now. Steve Atkins on the Greaves goes around Martini and records a time of 54.27. As we watch the bikes through the S's. We get a time come in for number 541, Aidan Stafford, who done it in 51.31. As down on the start line now we have the MD of Wiscombe Limited, Mr. Peter Isaac. Peter with his Velocette, 500cc Velocette, as opposed to Anthony, his son's 350 Velocette. Peter has been riding this bike, well, I think Noah was building the Ark when Peter started. It's that long. But he loves it. He came in earlier and had a chat, as you were listening, and does a lot of work down here at Wiscombe to keep all these events up and running throughout the year. And still finds time to get out occasionally to ride his bike. So Richard Thorne out on his Suzuki today, the 450cc Suzuki. Richard told me he's been doing his CBT this week, so just getting ready to ride a motorcycle on the road, which obviously you can't ride at this moment, anything this big. And Richard done a time of 54.89, so first time out in competitive riding, 54.89. As we look at the top of the hill, we can see that Peter Isaacs has cleared the top of the hill and he's done a time of 55.88. And the couple of the big guns, shall we call them, are coming out shortly. We're due to have Guy Ursel and Peter Short, number 8 and 10 respectively, come out. They're very, very quick on their bikes. Well worth watching. I'd say get the cameras ready, but turn your flash off. If you don't have a flash on up there. As Keith Haynes goes up the hill on the Aprilia. So going back, Alan Chapman done a time of 46.36. Callum Short on 44.03. But one of the men to watch now, Guy Ursel, just leaving the line, number 8. Guy's been competing for a number of years and puts a lot of effort into helping with the event as well. Peter Short now getting ready to leave the start line. As we look back to see where Guy is. Guy's just rounded Sawbench. And Peter's away on the KTM. Again, putting in a very, very determined ride. Just waiting for Guy's time to come up on my screen. Here we go. So Guy just done a run of 44.6. So quite a competitive time that. And let's see what Peter Short done. Both of them on KTMs. Both of them seasoned riders. And Peter Short has done a 42.79, so a little bit quicker than Guy. So let's see what the next time run brings for them. I say, unfortunately, I can't always see the numbers of the bikes. Bit of serious tyre warming going on down there from David Pete with his bike. Look back on the times, and Keith Hunt has just done a 52.37. Dick Sinkins a 51.07. So that's number 712 Keith Hunt 52.37. Number 739, Dick Sinkins, 51.07. And then number 744, Chris Keats, has just done a 46.27. That's bike number 744, done a time at 46.27. So the bike's spectacular to watch as always through the S's. And leaving the start line as well, where they just succeed in getting some momentum up, and they've got to brake hard to go around Wiz Corner. These being the bigger bikes, this is the 750 to 1400 class, the biggest bikes of the lot here today. I think it could be Matthew Mogridge. Mog sat in on the start line, number 819. We've got a time come in for David Pete of 46.46, so a few around the 46-second mark. I believe that's Colin Dodge just left the start line, heading up across the parkland. See a time coming for Gareth Plunkett of 53.62. So looking now for a time for Matthew Mogridge. Matthew is being on his Suzuki TL. Let's have a look, see what he's done. A 45.91. That's a very quick time. I think that's Alison Self down here on the start line. As we watch the bike carry up over the hill, nice tidy lines. We get a time come in for number 830, Stephen Butler, and Stephen Butler done a 47.45. Number 829, Colin Dodge. Colin on his Triumph done a time of 48.04. Alison Self's time's just come in, 58.02. So Alison on the Honda VTR just done a time of 58.02. So Mark Stafford on the KTM Duke, a 790cc bike this, and Mark's just got to the top in 48.98. So the last solo motorcycle in this batch is now just approaching the start to get lined up. This would be Paul Jeffrey. Paul's on the KTM Duke. There seems to be a lot of KTMs these days. 890cc's. And away he goes. Again, another determined rider. It'd be great to watch him through the S's. If you're watching from home, just keep an eye on the screen. He goes through the gate now. Quite a lean over to get round the corners. Up into Sawbench as the first of the motorcycle combinations start. That's Nigel and Kirsty Glover. Carrying on over bunnies on their Triton 750cc this. Kirsty hanging out the side. That's the fastest time in practice this morning for an outfit. Simon and Jane Foster as they leave the line, heading up the hill. And Nigel and Kirsty just round Sawbench. And Simon and Jane into the S's. Needs quite a bit of commitment to sit in the sidecar on one of these. And around Sawbench, they get the power down. There's off the line goes Kevin and Sarah Jewell in their Windle Kawasaki, a 498cc outfit this, the little blue outfit. And let's have a look, see where we are. We've got some times just come in. So, starting from Peter Ford, he done a 46.2. Mark Williams on the Honda, a time of 47.55. Hans Tanzer, a time of 806. Oh, sorry, that's his number 876. A time of 51.25. Then number 891, Paul Jeffrey, a 43.45. Moving on to the sidecars. The first sidecar in this batch, a time which is Nigel and Kirsty Glover, a time of 58.77. Simon and Jane Foster done a 45.91. Number 988, Kevin and Sarah Jewell have just done a 49.05. And Rod Thorne and Kevin Young. Kevin, you remember, would be riding with Sarah Howard on the sidecar just now. This time it's Rodney riding with Kevin on the sidecar. They've just done a 49.05, and we're just waiting for the Keats brothers, Patrick and Paul, to come. Some marker posts that are out there on the hill after the last car goes up, before the motorcycles go up. And I can hear the revs rising. They've got the green light and they're away. This is the Derbyshire Honda 600cc outfit. Getting the power down, going up over Bunny's Leap now. Heading towards the gate area. Sarah preparing for the left-hand bend as they go through there. Through the S's. Keeping it nice and steady. Up into Sawbench. And on the brakes, Sarah moves across over the back wheel behind the rider, behind Kevin, and they get the power down up to Martini, and just approaching Martini now, and they turn it in. Sarah hangs out over the side to keep the side of the cart down, and over they go over the line, and they have just done one, readying yourself. And away he goes. Off the start line, to be followed by Anthony Isaacs, and son of Peter, who's here today. Both of them riding Velocets. Just a quick message for Nigel Winkworth. Nigel Winkworth, if you can hear me, your lights are on. So let's turn them off now. So, moving on. Anthony Isaac down there on the start line, ready to go. As through the S's goes Simon Wilson, heading towards the top. Lovely streamlined bike this. Reminds you of the racing bikes of the 60s and 70s to look at. As Ant goes around the bottom corner here at Wiscombe. That lovely old Velocette. This is a 350cc bike, and then we move into the 350 500 class. So Simon Wilson's got to the top of the hill with a time of 49.12. So we have Jamie Mitchell on the start line now. Jamie number 6 on the BRC 450. One of the top riders in the championship. And obviously if you watch him you can see the commitment there. Through the S's. It's almost dancing, that bike, as he goes through the S's there. Well worth watching. We're in saw bench. As he accelerates at the saw bench, no doubt the front's lifting up a bit. You can't see from here, but I would imagine it would be. And then Richard Boker's on the hill, number 511. So a time of for Anthony Isaac on the 350 Velocette, a time of 60.70, 60.70. And then Jamie Mitchell, a time of 42.44. As I said earlier, unfortunately I can't always see the numbers on the side of the bikes, so some of it is, if it seems vague, it's because it is vague. So apologies if I get anybody wrong. So just looking at the times now, Richard Boker's just done at 46.96. Waiting for Steve Atkins' time to come in. And Steve Atkins has done a 53.3. So just watching the bikes going through the S's there and into Sawbench corner. Lovely lines that they're taking. Aidan Stafford just done a 49.29. As on the line at the moment is Peter Isaac lining up on his 500cc Velocette. Look back to see what the times are doing. Aidan Stafford done a 49.29. Richard Thorne done a 54.15. I think Richard would be quite happy with that. First time out on the bike today. Young man also looking at maybe going a bit of car hill climbing in the future as well. Richard Peaty just done a 45.81. Quite a good time that on the Husqvarna 450. And Peter rounds Sawbench, heading on up towards Martini. On that lovely old Velocette of his. Around Martini. Making a very nice line around there. Very safe line. So, looking back at what we have going on in front of us here. I believe that's Callum Short now on the start line, waiting to go on his 450 KTM. And 561, Peter Isaac done a time of 57.37. Callum Short goes across the front, powers it up over Bunny's Leap. We get a time for, oh no, Callum Short's already gone up, sorry. Callum has gone up in 43.87. Down there on the line now, warming up, is Guy Ursel. As the time comes in for Keith Haynes at 45.34. And Guy's off the line now. Committed rider is Guy. On the brakes, through the gate. Again, another one making the bike dance from side to side as he goes through the S's. Wonderful to watch, nice flow to it. Up into Sawbench. As number 10, Peter Short, leaves the start line. Again, somebody really worth watching, very committed. Superb riders these. Gate, through the gateway, through the S's, had the front up there I think a little bit. And onto the brakes, into Sawbench, brings it round Sawbench, nice tidy line, gets the power down, up the straight there to Martini. Times that have come through. So Guy Ursel done a 44.42 and Peter Short a 42.97. As over Bunny's Leap, we watch the next bike, and looking down towards the start line, we can see, I think it's Jim Goddard leaving the start now. Jim Goddard on the KTM Duke. We have a time coming for Dick Sinkins of 50.31 and for Keith Hunt of 52.39. We move into the 751 to 1400 class very shortly. Number 744, Chris Keats, done a 45.46. Jim Goddard got to the top in 49.21. So we're moving into the bigger bikes now. And I think David Peters on the hill, running at number 9. Number 766, David Norris, got to the top in a time of 46.95. So we're now looking for David Pete to get to the top, so we can get his time. As away from the line, I believe, is probably Matthew Moggridge. So number 9, David Pete, a time of 47.33. Moving through the solo motorcycle as well now. And we have a look back, and Gareth Plunkett has done a 53.66. Look to the time now for Matthew Mogridge. See what Mog's done. And here it comes. 819. Mog has done a 46.21. So at the moment, the fastest of those 751 to 1400 class, but still quite a few left to go. And number 829. That's Colin Dodge. Colin on the 850 Triumph has done a 48.45. So Mog still leading that at the moment. Stephen Butler getting to the top on motorcycle number 830 on a time of 47.85. I think that could be Pete Ford out there now on the Hill Dragon 600 supercharged. As we look back, and Alison Self has just done a 57.32. So 3 more motorcycles, solo motorcycles to go. The one that's on the hill now, and then the 2 down at the start, and then we will go into the combinations. So number 853, Mark Stafford, 48.9. So waiting for Pete Ford's time to come in, and just as he goes over the finish line now at the top. Number 864, a 47.28. So Mock still leading the class at the moment. We have Mark Williams on the hill. With a time of 47.26 on the Honda. Now Hans Tanzer on the Harley Davidson. Just rounding Sawbench now. That he will shortly be at the top. As Paul Jeffrey on the KTM Duke number 891 goes through the gate. And a time for Hans of 51.68. Let's see what Paul Jeffrey has done. So Paul Jeffrey being the last of the bikes. As we watch Nigel and Kirsty Glover on the Triton 750 outfit head up the hill, we look and we can see that Paul Jeffrey's just gone under the finish banner in a time of 43.05. So he is now taking away the lead from Mock in that class. So we have Simon and Jane Foster about to leave the start line. And the Honda F2 600cc outfit this. Lovely sounding outfit. And up over Bunny's Leap, heading towards the gate. Brakes around, and then Jane will be hanging off the side to keep the left hand side down on the ground as it goes through. Just clip the curb there, going through the S's, little bounce. And now around Sawbench. Jane gets right over the back to get the power, or get the ballast over the power wheel, and away they go. And then on the line now, we've got Rodney Thorne and Kevin Young. I say Rodney quite often seen here in a single-seater racing car, his Pilbeam, and Kevin was riding the outfit earlier with Sarah Howard on the side. And as they go away, just leaves the Keats brothers now. So let's have a look at some times. Nigel and Kirsty Glover, 57.66. Simon and Jane Foster, 46.61. That's outfit number 969. As the Windle goes over the finish line of Kevin and Sarah Jewell and records a time of 56.42. As the last outfit is on the hill now, they'll be followed by the course car. Then they will bring all the motorcycle entry back down, and obviously they need to get back to their paddock, so please obviously bear in mind that they will be coming back. Number 996, Rodney Thorne and Kevin Young, 51.08. So just waiting for the time now to come in for the Keats brothers, Paul and Patrick Keats. Patrick riding the bike, Paul in the sidecar outfit, both from Wellington. They used to used to hill climb a Mini in years gone by. Then they went to a Mallock, and then they